wedding had a bit of challenges in terms of sound. The reception area, because it was being done in a hall, there was a bit of echo. Actually, a lot of it, not a bit of it. There was a lot of echo and made the sound terrible. That's why you find people talking while you're presenting, or they are not really listening to everyone else, you know. But above all, it was a nice crowd. I wish it was an open air. This is a crowd you would really bank on. In terms of they really had the energy, the passion, they liked it, they were happy. So they're just limited by the sort of area or place of reception. There's a wedding that I've only, most weddings they'll be slightly late, maybe 30 minutes, an hour late, most of them. But I think there's something in church where they say you pay some sort of fee for lateness that tries to make them come early. But I'm also aware that weddings that say they will start at about 11 or midday or at 2 will always come late. And I think the assumption of the groom or the team is that if you are gonna come at 2, for instance, then you have all the time, the whole morning to prepare. Yet it's a fallacy per se, because then you end up getting late because of traffic and all those other things. But most weddings, they always start a little late. For now, I don't mind any language. I can really do any wedding for any community, as long as they're comfortable with Kiswahili or English. But mostly I try to blend in, bring in a little cultural undertones or cultural clips, because I'm pretty fluent with all dialects of Luya. I have a little bit of Kikuyu. I cannot speak fluently, but I can hear. But I have a few words that I can use. Kisi, I can't speak pretty much, but I know how to comfortably deal with such a crowd. So for me, I think I can handle any crowd. I've matured to the place where I think I can handle any crowd. Mostly, you know, these are two people with ego. The MC was probably given the job because of the skills they have, and the DJ also equally might have been given because he's good at his work. Usually most of the times I've seen weddings where the MC and the DJ are competing for certain kind of space. What I personally do is we sit down with the DJ, we come up with a list, we come up with a song list, and then we decide. I will not ambush him with a particular song. If the mood changes, I already know the list, from the list that he has, what song is best suited for the particular crowd, because I can pretty much read the crowd. The DJ can get carried away with the music and not necessarily feel the crowd per se, but I can, as an MC, I can tell this crowd needs a little bit of this with a lot more accuracy. But so because if I have a list, I can request from the DJ, and then it will come smoothly, softly. So the DJ and the MC need to really work together so that they execute the program, because the project is not to have someone shine at the expense of the other. Actually, they work together, and I think it will achieve the harmony that they are looking for. Usually, my perspective of the wedding is a moment of fun, a moment of joy, a moment of dance and laughter. And so for me, fusing dance, I like that dance part, which really gives me, like you put it, catharsis for me is when now the music is right, the crowd is right, and we are doing it, we are throwing it down. I'm also a very good dancer, by the way, so when I mingle with the crowd and I'm able to teach them a few moves and be able to do it in tandem, perfectly executed, that is for me catharsis. But I think also for the groom, for them, they never really get to experience the full bit of it because most of them are very tired. So I think when they watch the video and they're able to see that the joy and the laughter that people had, the fun they experienced during the wedding, I think for them they get fulfillment. Yeah, that would be my take. But my lowest moment is this time I'm doing a wedding in some part of central Kenya, and I was coming to make an announcement slightly after the clergy or the pastors had spoken, and so we were slightly running late into the program. We needed to go for the reception. They need to go for photo session before we go for the reception. And so I realized the crowd had gotten sad or sort of was down emotionally. So I needed to whip up a bit of their emotions to make them a lot stronger for the day, gear them up into the wedding mood. And in my attempt to do so, the bishop's wife comes onto this podium and whispers to me and says, "Do you know you don't have much time?" And I had barely been on that podium for a minute. But now it got worse because now the the husband now, the bishop came and took another 45 minutes after he'd cut short my speech, you know. And by the way, when she actually said, "Do you know we don't have time," I actually dried up. Sort of, she sucked the life out of me. And so immediately I just told guys, wazee mahali ukuta ya kusimama iko ni pale, let's meet at the reception. It really drained me. I think the life of a wedding is the MC, I would say. You can have good music, you can have everything working perfectly, but if you don't have a good MC, you are building a house of cards. And it's just a matter of when you realize the joy wasn't complete. Things that you do, usually there's a church session that you come, an MC you come towards the end of the service, where you're making announcements, housekeeping rules, you're telling guys where not to step on the grass, or where to go when they need to make that urgent call, or where to, you know, and also the program of the day. Also give them a little bit of what to expect. Psych them up, tell them there's gonna be more, the wedding has just begun. So the church part is over, so the wedding has just begun. So give them an iota, or is that the word like iota? Give them an iceberg, a tip of the iceberg of what to expect. Give them expectation, raise the expectation for the afternoon session. An MC needs to be fun. An MC needs to inject life into the wedding. An MC makes the wedding a wedding, you know. So, need to be humorous. There are a couple of things you can Google up on the internet, then appropriate them, try and fix them in context. Be as humorous. And by the way, there's a rule. You can whip the groom, you can make nonsense jokes of the groom, but the bride is untouchable. It's her day. You don't want to make funny jokes about the bride. You don't go there. It's a no-go zone. Make fun, kill the groom, so to say, but do not touch the bride. It's her day. You don't want to spoil her day with fun. So You need to be humorous. You need to, I don't know, inject life. You need to be fun to be listened to. You need to, when you want to speak, guys, listen up. But remember not to steal the show, because it's not your wedding. You are just an MC. Don't forget, usually also there's a thin line between ending up doing a sort of a stand-up comedy and instead of MCing. You need to know there's a thin line. You don't have to steal the show. It's not your day. Balance it out. It's her day. It's their day, the groom's day. Thank them, but it's their day.